Welcome to the World Congress of Cardiometabolic Medicine, and here we are at TheRightDoctors.com. We have a privilege to have Dr. A.K. Pancholia with us, who is, I don't think he needs any more introduction. He himself is the head of the preventive cardiology. He has a wide area of extension, wide area of coverage of preventive cardiology, geriatric cardiology, apparently general cardiology, and so on and so forth. You name it, and he have it. Welcome, Dr. Pancholia, on the show.
Thank you.
It's really a pleasure and honor to have you on our show, and if I may ask you a few questions, it will be okay with you. So, to start with, if I may ask you to sum up about your tomorrow's talk that you're going to give us about the metabolic syndrome.
My talk is on metabolic syndrome in India. Is it different? As we define as metabolic syndrome is obesity, is overweight, and when associated to more risk factors which are associated with that, like triglycerides more than 150, then HDL less than 40 in male and less than 50 in female, blood pressure more than 130 by 85, and blood sugar fasting more than 100, then it is defined as metabolic syndrome. There are different definitions which are proposed by the different agencies, but there are the major differences are in the weight, blood pressure, and the sugar level. The IDF criteria is also showing the same thing, and the Indian criteria for metabolic syndrome matches with the IDF criteria.
Is there any universal definition you would like to describe us about the metabolic syndromes?
Universal definition, when there is when the cluster of the cardiovascular risk factors, hypertension, adiposity, insulin resistance, and hypertension, when they are combined, then it is defined as metabolic syndrome. These are characteristic features.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. So, how would you describe the incidence and the prevalence of the metabolic syndrome?
The prevalence of metabolic syndrome in India is varying from in the different studies from 11 to 41%. The recent data which is coming from the north, and it is showing around 40% prevalence of metabolic syndrome, and female predominates the male.
Well, I'm really surprised and rather astonishingly surprised to see the prevalence of that many numbers. I remember when I was in the medical school days, and we see more of the malnutrition guys. Those days, I'm sure you probably will agree with me, those days we don't have that many metabolic syndromes. Forget about the diabetes and dyslipidemia. People used to really carve for the carbohydrates, the simple feast. So do you think that the disease paradigm has changed overwhelmingly over the last few decades?
Yes, definitely, because of the more urbanization and more westernization, the food habit has been changed, lack of exercise and other factors, they are contributing more to the higher prevalence in the urban area. The rural is also catching up gradually because their lifestyle is also changing.
So in a nutshell, if I say that there's a very little rural area left in India, will that be wrong?
Yes, I totally agree with you.
So if I have to move forward, moving forward, what do you think, what we can do in order to cut down our metabolic syndrome, and what should we do in order to improve our lifestyle, or rather in a simple way, how should we modify our lifestyle to get rid of all those problems?
The best way is definitely this lifestyle modification, the control of your weight, by regular exercising.
Well, we all say that's control of the weight. To be honest, or rather, the honest truth is that we all struggle to get down even a single stone out of your body. And I'm not sure, is it the lifestyle thing that's kind of helping us, or rather not helping us in that sense, or it's just the overall stress, maybe a peer stress, the social stress, the financial, the economical, whatever you want to say. We just want to get rid of this problem, and I'm not sure what is the easy way and the easy answer for this. Would you like to enlighten us with a little bit more about that?
Definitely, the stress is a major issue which is more prevalent in the urban area, and because of the westernization. So that part has to be taken care properly. Regular exercise, because the sedentary lifestyle is another contributing factor. High carbohydrate diet is another contributing factor. Then less consumption of fresh fruits and vegetables. So we have to concentrate on every aspect, and of course the better control of blood pressure, better control of sugar, and better control of lipid also.
And how about the trans-saturated fats? Do you think they have some role into it?
Definitely, they have a definite role, because they are more atherogenic molecules which are responsible for more atherosclerosis, trans fatty acids.
So do you think this is all about the Western food that gives us the trans-saturated fat, or the Indian conventional traditional food as well?
Because the frequent use of the oil for the same.
So basically none is lesser than other, both are equally dangerous.
Equally dangerous.
So if I have to prioritize which food I should go for, should it be a Western diet or should it be a typical Indian diet?
Typical Indian diet, but you have to avoid the trans fatty acids, which are more seen in
Well,
the
the
bakery.
honest truth is that when I come and see, whenever I come to India, when I see all those, what do you call it, the triangular dumplings on the street corner, they are so tempting. You can't really stop yourself without having few. You end up adding few stones onto your weight. Well, I mean, that's what we can't say. So in order to summarize rather the things, would you like to give us some key message about your talks which are going to happen tomorrow?
The key message that lifestyle modification to follow in order to prevent this menace of the metabolic syndrome by regular exercising, by cut down your fats, saturated fats, cut down your carbohydrates, and say no to 6S.
And what is that?
S for salt, S for sugar, S for saturated fatty acid, S for smoking, S for sedentary lifestyle, and S for stress.
My goodness, you have summarized it very, very well. Thank you, Dr. Pancholia. It's been excellent talking to you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.